Breaking today, an increasingly desperate Meghan Markle flies into the UK, if you believe them, which I never do these days, with the children, Archie and Lily in tow. But of course, she refused to turn up alongside her own husband at his major Invictus event, where once again he looked like a broken man giving an awkward interview to Alison Hammond of Woke ITV, who, in a true dereliction of journalistic duty, failed to ask him one question about the court case loss, one question about the destruction of Doreen Lawrence, thanks to him, one question about the security debacle, one question about whether he's going to meet the king. No, there was none of that. But there was a very telling moment which makes it quite clear things are not good in this marriage.
You must, honestly, your kids and Meghan must be so proud of you. Yeah, do they tell you every day?
They don't tell me every day that they're proud of me.
No, they don't, because they're not proud of you. She's not proud of you. She's using you, but she's not proud of you. It's almost so tragic that he can't see it. But then he has obviously made a decision to not acknowledge anything, to not try and apologize, to not try and win back public support. So his speech, his major speech, which didn't even have good audio, and I think he looked a mess, but it was just, in my view, and I'll let you hear it, but in my view, just given the circumstances of this week, totally tone deaf. Worse. I promise you it got worse. You might not believe me, it got worse because he knows that we're all talking about his alarming baldness, right? He knows. And so he thought, because this is what the old Harry would have done, I'll try and pretend to make a joke about it and everyone will laugh with me. Oh God, it went wrong. They didn't laugh. He's in a room with his biggest supporters. They didn't even laugh. I think this is going to be the wake-up moment for Prince Harry, actually. I mean, if anything tells you you've lost the room, it's that. When your biggest supporters are no longer by your side. I mean, he stuck to the speech. I was actually furious by the end of it. I'm not going to play you any more other than this last bit, because he still believes that it's his place to lecture the world. Dinah, royal YouTube sensation. Please, I mean, not much leaves me speechless, P. Dinah, but watching this address today was quite a shocking moment to me, because it's like he genuinely thinks that he can just brush this off and try and go back to the jokes. And the fact that everyone in that room, other than Alison Hammond, seemed to be against him, were not laughing along. It's, to me, a seminal moment. It's the moment where Harry will have to realise that he's even lost the Invictus Games crowd. They were his loyalists. But am I reading it wrong? Did you see anything else going on there, P. Dinah? Fresh Harry and Meghan updates every single day. Yes, the ones the Montecito Mafia and MSM don't want out there. Subscribe to Outspoken for daily royal coverage. It's completely free.
Yeah, it was quite cringe. You heard nothing when he tried to make that joke. And I think Harry, he's in a position now where he has to address a lot of the ills of his life. How can he even try to move on in this moment that is supposed to be his everything, when there is so much looming around everything, around his security, his wife, his father? He just brings too much negativity with his own life into something that's supposed to be positive. And I think the people of Invictus, they see all of that. They see all of the commotion around this person, this man who is supposed to be, bringing attention to them. And yet all of the attention goes to Harry's ills and his life. And, why did he even come or have this time when he had this court decision to be announced? And we know the news of that. It's like he can't seem to just make it about the people. Everything is about Harry. And I think the people who are doing the work resent that, because they're the ones who are doing the hard work, who have suffered. It's supposed to be about them. And there are talks that this might even be canceled if he can't get the money raised for the Invictus. This is why he is here, but he hasn't been able to. I mean, I think it was like £26,000 that still needs to be raised. within this next year. So Harry's got a lot going on, and he's not helping to make it better. So this is the problem that he is faced with. It's not a time to try to make jokes. You need to get your life in order.
Yeah, and it's like you were not just trying to destroy other people's lives. Sorry, you were not just trying to destroy your life. You were trying to destroy other people's lives. You were trying to destroy entire organizations. You were trying to destroy the concept of a British free press. Like, none of this is just about you mucking up your own life now. Although I guess we've known for some time that he wants to destroy the British royal family. So I guess we should expect this. But of course, P. Dina, then we get the obligatory Meghan's coming. You know, a few days ago, P. Dina, of course she couldn't come. Of course the children couldn't come. They're going to be killed. But now, what's changed? What's changed? Harry needs the good publicity. Harry has to move the story on, and Meghan knows she's got to play ball. So Harry, Meghan's spare, writes, when all else fails, pull out the kids. Although they won't be seen by anyone, of course, but the noise is what matters. The noise will camouflage Harry's recent disaster. And so, of course, on cue last night, P. Dina, we got all the usual suspects. The Daily Telegraph. Meghan will bring Archie and Lily to Britain this week. Meghan Markle and the kids will join Harry in the UK despite security and accommodation complaints. These were the exclusive details from the New York Post. In other words, the link. If Meghan comes with the kids, then it's more of a possibility, said the insider of Markle. Another source said the Duke could, and perhaps his children, could see Charles late Saturday or Sunday, but added that Tuesday's disastrous court ruling, which saw Harry lose his case against Associated Newspapers, will make things even more awkward. But it's Chris Shipp, of course, of Woke ITV. I mean, we literally saw him, P. Dina, like kneeling on his little knees when Harry was walking out of Chatham House this week. Harry, are you okay? I mean, the guy's embarrassing. He actually had like a long career as a political journalist in the UK. He has destroyed his credibility to team up with Harry. To me, it's totally bizarre. But what is interesting about his reporting, P. Dina, is that we know it's coming directly from Harry, directly from Meghan. So that's why I take it very seriously in this case. And it still shocked me, P. Dina, because he still managed to attack the king and attack the British royal family. So let me just take you through this. This was on the ITV News website, where he wrote that they will not attend these public engagements, or the kids and Meghan won't. But ITV News understands last-minute discussions have been taking place in the last few days over a meeting between Prince Harry and his father, King Charles. They are trying to find a mutually convenient time and location for the father and son to see each other. But, and here's the key line, staff in both camps are suspicious of the other's motives. Well, Pete Dina, I mean, clearly there is very good reason for Buckingham Palace to be highly suspicious of Prince Harry, given he tried to get a room in Buckingham Palace to record his victory statement against the Daily Mail, which never came because he wasn't victorious. I mean, of course they're going to be suspicious, but for Harry's team to try and say that they are suspicious of King Charles at the exact moment that the king is being told by anyone with brains, including Queen Camilla, including Prince William, you just can't do this, shows to me just a huge arrogance.
Arrogance and entitlement. He wants to try to shift the blame because he can't take responsibility for anything. So of course he has to counter it with, the palace doing something. And of course they're not doing anything. I mean, Harry is the one who's been the proven liar here, who has completely, shown his hand and, what he is about. So, Harry and Meghan, I think at this point, are having so many problems behind the scenes, Dan, that this is why you see all this chaos on the front end here in the media, because there's so much happening that we don't see. And this is why it looks chaotic. Does it make sense? And there's just so much going on. I think Harry is in a position now. He has to, I know I always go back to this, but I don't understand why we can't see that the problem is Meghan and what she is doing to Harry.
Of course, but I mean,
he can't figure anything out.
Anyone sane sees that, P. Dina. I guess the point of view from the royal family, though, from the king, is that, well, do you really want to see your grandchildren? Do you really want to do it? Because you're putting us at risk.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, he does. Now, I obviously think that's insane, but here's what Chris Shipper's reporting in terms of the logistics, P. Diner, of what may play out this weekend. So he writes, the latest arrangements centre on Harry travelling 90 minutes from Birmingham to meet the King at his Highgrove estate in Gloucestershire. Harry is trying to work out a way for his family to travel there too, as he is keen for his 2 children to see their grandfather. However, there is some briefing taking place on both sides about the willingness of the other side to meet or to find a time which works for the King and Harry. So basically what they're both trying to do is say, well, if it doesn't happen, it was our choice. So in other words, they're trying to save face. It gets worse, this piece of propaganda. I mean, this is propaganda Goebbels would have been proud of, if I'm completely honest. And if you think I'm exaggerating, just listen. If any such reunion were to take place, it would happen away from the cameras, and Meghan does not wish the children to be photographed. As the couple have sought to protect the identities of Archie and Lily. How can he write that? Pete Diner, how can he write that with a straight face, given the way that she is pimping out the children constantly on social media? I mean, this is crazy stuff.
Mm-hmm. I think he's just trying to make it seem like he's trying to protect the children and just trying to put up all these issues. You know, they want to protect the children, but really they're just in a bunch of chaos right now, and they don't know if they're coming or going. I have no idea if Meghan is even really going to even go see the King with these kids. Like, I don't, at this point, what is true? What is the truth of this situation with Harry and Meghan? I think they say a lot of things that are not true. And the fact that we're not even going to see Meghan with the kids, what does that even mean? Like, are you even really here? I mean, that doesn't make sense to me. Why announce it? If no one's going to see the children, why even talk about all of this? What is the point? I don't understand that. Maybe you can tell me, Dan, because I don't understand that.
I know, it's crazy. It is completely insane. I want to show you, P. Diner, some of the propaganda level coverage of this trip, because it really does feel like the British mainstream media, and thank God this is why people come to you, P. Diner, it's why people come to us, because the mainstream media are just totally on another planet. Like, they're still acting as if Harry is this beloved figure. And Nancy Sidley had a good point on this. She wrote, after Harry gets globally humiliated, he then goes to a hospital with a professional photographer to take photos of himself with sick children. That is truly disturbing behaviour. There is no way the King is going to insert himself into this situation. Harry and Meghan are far too desperate. Well, I hope she's right. Unfortunately, I think she might be wrong on this. But Lauren, the Insider, commenting on the mainstream media coverage, specifically in The Sun, wrote, the top story should be this: Prince Harry slipped a white pill into a trainee journalist's mouth during a 2011 shooting weekend. Not one mention of it in today's top breaking news. That story ran earlier and has now conveniently slipped down the ranks. Matt Wilkinson, the journalist, works closely with the palace. He's left with many stories whereby the strong lines have been softened, as we say in the industry. Big Cheese boss of The Sun, Victoria Newton, has a close working relationship with King Charles. So ask yourself, why would The Sun run a breaking story today with zero mention of the white pill allegation within this? Harry's still royal enough to be protected. The Sun is a tabloid that thrives on stories exactly like this one, and yet silence. That's not journalism. That's access and narrative management. And actually, P. Diner, what I've been seeing a lot of is access and narrative management, because woke ITV unbelievably decided that the story of Prince Harry yesterday, because remember the day before, P. Diner, it's just worth pointing out the context. The day before, he banned all cameras. Like, he just went to ground. He was effectively in hiding. He tried to blame it on the heatwave. So then he comes back. Clearly, they're like, you're going to have to go to this hospital this time and be photographed. And woke ITV decided that the story was not the drug allegation, was not the reputation in tatters after the court case. None of that. Not the fact that Doreen Lawrence, might be made bankrupt by this. None of that. The story was Prince Harry being mobbed by Nona. You're not going to believe this. You hear that chair there, right? Do you know what they left out? They left out, because I went back and I looked at the full footage, P. Diner. Prince Harry went to ask the nurses, is this the best ward in the hospital? So are you working in the best ward in the hospital? That's when they all clapped and cheered to basically say, yes, we are. Do you see what I mean? They were not clapping and cheering for him. They were clapping and cheering for the fact that they worked in the best ward of the hospital. That is such dishonest propaganda.
Absolutely. That's what Harry does because he can't rely on his own true goodwill or his work because there's so much hanging over this man. Like, why is he even there visiting with these children? He was actually supposed to be somewhere else, right? But then he shows up here somewhere else for Invictus. And then he shows up here trying to use these children and being in this enclosed environment where he can't even be questioned about that what happened with the news with with the story around his case. So Harry has to be in these environments because he can't deal with anyone confronting him. He has to make it look like he's being well received because his ego needs that. He needs to be stroked like everything is good, and he has to manipulate the surroundings because he can't handle the truth. He can't handle what the real situation is. As a matter of fact, he has to avoid it altogether and put himself somewhere where he really is just there to use people and to make himself look like he's, goodwill ambassador doing all this good work.
I could tell P. Diner that Harry was not coping, but everything was about trying to be like over the top, like I'm over the top happy. Like, look at this. You compare him to the king, you compare him to Prince William. It's very obvious to me this is all a performance this week. He is dying inside because he's humiliated.
They're trying to work it so that the PR, like what he said about Meghan not coming because of the security, they're saying that as a dig, like they're just using this to manipulate everything that they're doing to make it seem like, well, we didn't get what we wanted, so she's not going to be here now. And it's like they're trying to manipulate these stories to look like, they're doing what they're supposed to be doing. And it's just Harry and Meghan just trying to make these stories elevate them, but they're really behind the scenes manipulating things to take digs at the royals, to take digs at their circumstances. It's not really them trying to show up and do the good work. I mean, really, what's going to happen to Meghan if she shows up? They have security. It's not like they don't have it, and I think Meghan is just trying to get something that she's not entitled to get. And this is why they pull out, because they want them to get the best of the best. Well, you have enough for who you are to go show up and do the work, but you don't show up because it's all about you. It's not about the people once
exactly.
again.
And who's been overshadowed today, which is exactly what they wanted. But let's just take a little look at her, Pete Diner, because I think she looks lovely. Catherine, the Princess of Wales, supporting her husband, Prince William, at the polo. And you'll see her there. Look, she just looks absolutely lovely in a black and white dress.
Yeah, she really does. I think Catherine is somebody that embodies a true humanitarian that makes it about the people she's there to support. And this is why I think she is so loved by the people, because she shows up. She's always on point with, the way she dresses, how she relates to the people. She doesn't make it about her, circumstances or whatever that she may be going through, but about the people. And Meghan and Harry have lost the plot completely. And Catherine, she outshines every single time.
Oh, she does. Pete Diner, there is talk, though, there could be a constitutional crisis if the king actually decides to back Prince Harry and go ahead with that meeting. So I do want to talk about the significant sort of ramifications. Plus, people are also saying now, including Meghan Kelly, that Prince Harry's sort of having a breakdown in plain sight. So we're going to get into all of this as the Royal Uncancelled After Show continues.
Prince Harry is once again making headlines, but this time it's not for a royal feud or a Netflix project. A recent TV appearance has sparked criticism after viewers claimed his speech fell flat, leaving what some described as an awkward silence in the room. Adding even more intrigue, Meghan Markle was nowhere to be seen. During the event, Harry spoke about issues including male hair loss and mental health. While the topic itself was important, critics argued that his delivery lacked energy and failed to connect with the audience. The host of the video suggests the atmosphere quickly became uncomfortable as the speech struggled to gain momentum. Another talking point was Meghan Markle's absence. The video questions why she chose not to attend, especially since the couple often appear together at high-profile events. While no official explanation was given, commentators believe her absence has fueled fresh speculation about the Sussexes' public strategy. The discussion expands beyond this single appearance, arguing that Harry's speech reflects a broader challenge facing the Duke and Duchess of Sussex. With several projects receiving mixed reactions, critics believe the couple are finding it increasingly difficult to maintain the public influence they once enjoyed. The video also compares Harry's situation with the working royal family. While King Charles and Prince William continue carrying out official duties, Harry's critics argue that his public appearances now generate more controversy than positive headlines. Whether this was simply an awkward moment or another sign of the Sussexes' ongoing struggles is open to debate. What is clear is that every appearance by Prince Harry continues to attract intense public attention, with supporters and critics offering very different interpretations of the same event. What do you think? Was Harry's speech unfairly criticized, or did it genuinely miss the mark? Share your thoughts in the comments, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications for more royal news and analysis.